Hi there, my name is Suze and I'm a divine feminine energy healer and guide. I want to talk about something, and I feel like in this conversation I'm kind of putting a pause button on some of the recent topics I've been talking about here around emotions and the wealth of emotions and what the wealth of information that emotions are trying to give us, and we can choose to accept that wealth or deny ourselves access to that wealth. I'm really loving that conversation, and I'm really loving how that puts a very positive spin on emotions and takes a lot of the shaming and the minimizing and the dismissing and all of that manipulative behavior around emotions. It takes that out and shows how emotions are actually here to empower us, to guide us, to heal us, to help move us forward on our journeys. And they're not something to be in any way, shape, or form looked at negatively, ever. And so anyway, I want to put a pause button on that because I recently had a conversation with someone. And in this conversation, I was really trying to get to the root of the matter. It's a conversation that has happened a few times in this relationship with this person that I have. And it's a conversation that happens a lot. And so I was really trying to get to the root of the problem because clearly there was some misunderstanding still happening between us. And whenever there is a misunderstanding between two people, there can never, ever be collaboration between those two people. And if there cannot be any collaboration, there will never be any forward movement in that relationship. If there cannot be any collaboration because of a misunderstanding, that misunderstanding is creating space between those two people. So the level of intimacy that is possible in that partnership or lack thereof of partnership, the intimacy there is never going to be as profound as it could potentially be. And so both parties are going to have an element, whether they're conscious of it or not. Both parties are going to have an element of their soul and their heart that is going to be dissatisfied and not truly fully fulfilled in that relationship, in that partnership, because the depth of intimacy that could be possible is not being accessed, all due to a misunderstanding that is denying access to collaboration. Also on that note, if there can't be collaboration and there is misunderstanding, there cannot be real, true harmony and unity. Because again, those are words that go under the umbrella of the intimacy. And if you've been listening to me for any length of time, you probably identify yourself as a feminine, as a divine feminine, as someone working on your spiritual journey, working on your soul path, your ascension. You're working on your emotional intelligence, your emotional maturity. I just saw 333 on my timer here. And so that, if you really listen to what I just said, that will actually make a lot of profound sense to you. And because that is how I view intimacy and relationships and emotions, my message here on the channel may sound a little bit different than what you hear elsewhere. And I love that. And I want to pause for a minute and thank those of you who are leaving me comments below and letting me know that things that I am saying, you have never heard them given in that way before. That feels so good to me to know that I'm able to provide impact and a fresh insight on these big, super important issues that are holding us back from having the depth of intimacy in our relationships that we really, really want. Sometimes we need a fresh perspective, a fresh insight, a revelation and an epiphany of seeing something in a way we have never seen it before to finally get through it to the other side. My God, I just saw 444. To get through it to the other side, to have the breakthrough in the partnership relationship that we are so desperately trying to create, and that our heart and our soul is so crazy trying to pull us towards. So I really, really, really appreciate the comments of those of you who are appreciating my message, recognizing that I'm having these nuggets to say that are very different than what you may be hearing out there. That is exactly what I want. I don't want to sound like everybody else. I recognize I look at emotions very differently than most people, but the liberation I have found in embracing and learning how to stabilize myself in my emotions, be self-respecting, self-accepting, self-loving to myself in the midst of all my own crazy chaos of emotions, that provides a level of empowerment that I can't even describe, and a liberation and a freedom from a prison that I lived the majority of my life in. And I am trying so hard to gift that to as many people as will hear me. So I hope that this message gets out to whoever needs to hear it today. And for those of you who've been with me and been listening to me and commenting and contributing your energy to the channel by commenting or subscribing and liking, I so appreciate you. I receive your energy. Thank you so much. Please keep that feedback coming. So, want to get to the root of the matter today. All of that to say, the whole thing about misunderstanding and zooming out. I talked the other day, a few days ago, what was that? That was on Saturday's video, my astrological forecast. I was talking about the current astrology and how it's highlighting a lot of really crazy, intense stuff for us right now. We're at the very end of this moon cycle. For me, where I am, it is Monday, the 27th is the full moon in Gemini. I am very excited to get that full moon on the books and be able to move through the other side. This moon cycle has been crazy intense for me. I know it has been for a lot of other divine feminines out there. And I want to validate you and see you and tell you that you are enough. You are enough. You are able to have, you are allowed to have whatever it is that your heart desires. Do not give up on what you want, but allow yourself in this moment to let go of control, to stop trying to do or say anything more. It's not going to work. Give it to the hands of the divine in this moment. Surrender, pray. Ground yourself, nurture yourself, give your love and your energy back to yourself. Stop giving to people, situations, and things that are just not going anywhere at this current moment in time. We are in a massive in-between worlds kind of energy. And one of the greatest signs of self-mastery is someone who is able to maintain themselves with integrity in a space of in-between, or in a space of transition between worlds. We are in a massive bubble of transition between worlds and transformation. And there's always a pause in that little pocket of transformation when you are just coming out of this old and you are stepping into this new space of who you are, this new expression of yourself, this new freedom, and letting yourself be bigger and more powerful and more gloriously who you are. There is always this pause. And what you do in that pause and how you treat yourself in that pause is everything. Went off on a tangent there. If you want to hear more about that, please do go back on the video I posted on Saturday, the astrological. I called it the astrological forecast, weekend astrological forecast. And then I said, ... enough. Enough. You are enough and you have done enough. Okay. Misunderstanding. Let's get back to that. One more little last thought and I'm going to close this video. I think I have said enough and I don't want to put too much out there and lose the clarity and the potency of my message today. But can we all for a moment, in any relationship at any level, if there's a problem or you wish something was different or it feels stuck or you don't know what to do, Let's go back to the bottom of misunderstanding. If we understand that it's only a matter of misunderstanding between two people, and we humble ourselves to understand that it isn't about one person being right and one person being wrong. It's about a misunderstanding, and maybe that misunderstanding goes as deep as different definitions around an important concept like emotional stability or emotional availability, or what it means to be real. If there's a misunderstanding of terms and definitions, there can never be collaboration or the level of intimacy that you desire. Can we zoom out for a minute? And it's so hard sometimes when we're emotionally involved with someone and we treasure the friendship with someone, or we really treasure the security that a relationship has provided, if it's a long-term relationship and it has provided some level of security for us. We tend to really hold on to that and place a high value on it. But the fulfillment, the intimacy, and the growth in these relationships is never going to happen if there's not collaboration and an alignment there. And there cannot be a collaboration if there's any sort of misunderstanding behind that. And if you're with someone who's maybe not as advanced with you on the communication end of things, you're going to have to really, really zoom out. You're going to have to look at your own journey, your attachment style, how you got to where you are, and back it up. Do we have the same definitions around the same words? I'm going to carry on this conversation in my very next video, talking about what emotional stability is not. Emotional stability is not. Because that is one word I'm really finding, the more and more conversations I have, I'm really recognizing that concept of emotional stability right there. That is something that we have different definitions on for people, whatever level of growth someone is at around their emotional intelligence or their emotional availability. Different levels of emotional availability, I'm noticing, have different definitions around this idea of emotional stability. So my next video, I'm going to really get into that, but I really want to put this video out first to create an impact and create a wave of energy out there of how important it is to understand that we have to understand both sides of the situation. And if we look at conflict as simply a misunderstanding, and you're willing to be patient and sit down with an open heart and open mind and untangle the crazy mess to get to the root of the misunderstanding, and you may have to dig deep, get to the root of the misunderstanding to then be able to communicate effectively, to then be able to create agreements to move something forward. I hope this video helped. Please do keep those comments coming. If you're new here and you found value, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you appreciated most about my message today. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next video.